What's up, YouTube? It's your boy AJ the Black World Traveler, and today this video is about places where tourists are being robbed and drugged. Certain places that are on the map internationally lately has been Brazil and Colombia, and I know Dominican Republic was, a couple years ago where guys are getting drugged. And they end up being like drugged and mugged. Basically, they get drugged and wake up and their money's gone and their, the wallet's gone, all that kind of stuff. But I'm noticing that there's a lot of these hood dudes getting robbed. It ain't really a lot of so-called, you call it a square, the ordinary guy. It's most of these hood dudes. They going over to these countries and they meet these women online and they're smoking and drinking with them. Like they'll meet a chick online and, oh yeah, she's gonna come by, so we got some drinks and we smoked a little weed. Like, bro, what kind of street smarts do these dudes have? There's no way you go to another country and you're going to the hood, you meeting hood chicks. Certain places, you're gonna meet hood chicks. You're gonna meet them in the strip clubs. You're gonna meet them, if you're in Medellin, if you're in Parquilleras is a place where there's a lot of different clubs and bars, and there's a lot of prostitutes out there. There's a lot of street girls, and there's a lot of dudes out there hustling. And a lot of these dudes, man, they be out here slipping. I mean, I don't know if they're the Pookie and Red Rays, or I notice when I usually see the dudes getting robbed, they're usually hood dudes. They're usually dudes from the hood that's getting robbed. Like, how are you doing what you don't do at home? A lot of these dudes won't even do this at home. The average dude is not gonna go to another hood in the U.S. Sometimes even their own hood. And if they got bread, they hustling, whatever they do, the last thing a dude is gonna do, well, he ain't gonna even do this. He's not gonna be in a strip club. If he is throwing money in the strip club, he's not gonna be just willy-nilly, throwing his money out there and not watching his back and not watching his moves. And then you go to a foreign country, a place like Colombia, especially in Medellin, man, it's hood, bro. There's some hoods in Colombia, man. When I was there in 2018, I booked my hotel. And when I booked my hotel, when I arrived there, I got a cab, and the cab driver asked me, hey man, where you staying at? And I told him, and he said, oh, that's not a good area. He kept trying to persuade me to switch my area. I just told him, don't worry about it, When we got to that area, it was grimy as hell. I was like, nah, man, I went and checked the room. It was nothing like it was advertised. And, when locals tell you this is not a good place, you need to listen to them. They know what they're talking about. So he ended up taking me to a place called Loma Verde. It was a high rise, he was a driver for that one property. It's a very nice high rise in El Poblado. And I ended up staying there the whole time I was there on my trip. I ended up getting a room per night. Then they got me on a $30 cheaper on a rate because I got on an Airbnb price. Well, I was able to stay there for a good amount of money. I was in a beautiful location, and so, but when you're traveling, and if you guys, if you, I don't care if you're from the hood, you're from the suburbs, don't take these women off to these places. Don't take no women to your room drinking and smoking and thinking it's going to be cool. Like, I've been traveling for over 33 years internationally. I've never had a problem with some women trying to set me up. I mean, only time I had a problem once, I was in the Philippines in 1991. I remember I was in the Philippines, and I was in the Navy then. And the truckie guy, the guy that drives the motorcycle taxi, tried to rob me for $30. He said he's going to kill me and all that. And I just got out and started walking. I was nervous, but I ended up walking all the way. He didn't do nothing to me, but that was the only time I ever had that problem. And so, and the way they did it was that me and my buddy hung out that night. I was in the Navy, me and my boy Tommy Cribbs. We actually was hanging out that night together because we both were kind of solo guys that hung by ourselves. But this particular night, we hung out together. We would hang out with these girls all night. I had a room, he had a room. We stayed there overnight. The next morning we got up. When I got in the trachea, I got in the front trachea, he got in the back trachea. So the guy in the front took me off to the straight. The other guy, turned him to the left. where I could have been like, hey man, go that way, because the base was that way. The base was just a left turn, straight shot. He said, I know a shortcut. He takes me on the street and turns the light on me, tells me he wants $30, he's gonna kill me. I told him, you know, pull over and I'll walk, and I did. But I always said, you know, watch your surroundings and know where you're going, because it could have turned out ugly. But you see about all these dudes out here getting set up and getting robbed, getting drugged. And dudes are getting drugged, getting their money taken, getting their credit cards taken. And what's so crazy about it, the negative side of these places where people are getting, mostly American dudes, I can't say all Americans, but I know it's a lot of, you know, brothers, and all the guys I've been seeing get robbed are mostly black dudes from America. And these are mostly street dudes. There was I think an Asian guy where a girl, you know, gave him a drug and actually killed him. But these places are going to have a decrease in travel. If we keep having these problems in Colombia, right now it's a hot spot. You know, people are going to stop going to Colombia if you start having these problems, because this can mess up the tourism in a lot of these places. Like the Dominican Republic was the first place I heard about, you know, guys getting, you know, set up and drugged and, you know, waking up and their stuff was going. I heard about that through several people, and I've never been turned on by it. Plus, I see videos of Dominican Republic, especially in Santo Domingo. It just don't look cool. I mean, it looks ghetto, you know, and I believe that, you know, that's a beautiful country, but in Santo Domingo, where most everybody goes to, and it seems like all the hood people be going to Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. That's all you be seeing is a hood dudes talking about it. I don't want to go nowhere where there's a bunch of, you know, hood rat dudes out there, because they usually go places and mess it up. That's how it was in the Navy, man. A lot of dudes in front of the hood, they hung together, they was always getting in fights and getting in trouble. So I always stick by myself. So if you're gonna be a guy traveling, man, don't be no idiot and get out there and get robbed. Don't be out there, you know, taking these women home from the strip club or a hooker, and then you take her to a place where there's no security. You know, a lot of places in Colombia, they had security for the buildings. Like where I stayed at, there was a security, and you had to have, well, it was security, but a security gate to get into the building, and you had to have your ID. If you didn't have your ID, you couldn't come in. So be smart out there, man. If you guys like the content, please subscribe, share. If you haven't, hit the notification button so you can be reminded when I have more videos. It's your boy, the Black World Traveler. I am out.